go. Good afternoon, board. Thank you for taking the time today, letting us present to you. We're from Rojo Consulting Company, and today we're going to focus on two main things. One, your goal as an organization to increase diversity through your members, and two, how to do that and obtain that goal through presentation styles. Now this quote came straight off of your guys' website and displays your commitment to increasing diversity through your recruiting and your retention of your members. Now, also on your website, you listed out 30 different unique qualities that can make somebody diverse. And understanding those qualities and the people that you are trying to attract into your organization is key when presenting. And that is all on the basis of a linguistic style. Linguistic style is going to be the foundation of your presentations when trying to increase your diversity. This quote from Deborah Tannen illustrates the differences in cultural values and cultural impacts and that what they have on different people in receiving the way that you communicate and the way that they communicate with others. Now, understanding this is key in the way that they receive your presentations and perceive your organization. For example, a Muslim woman that grew up in the Middle East is going to be very different and communicate very different than a Christian woman who grew up in Texas. A Muslim woman is probably going to be more reserved, more of a listener, and not as willing to voice their opinions as much as a Christian from Texas. Now, understanding these and understanding the groups that you're wanting to talk to and wanting to get into your organization is key within your presentations. It allows you to target specific groups of people by adjusting the linguistic styles you're using in your presentations to increase the area that you want. To further this point, I'm going to pass it over to Cody, and he's going to talk a little bit about how specifically your presenter and their styles can increase your diversity. Thanks, Cole.
So, before we get into how we're going to be able to improve your speeches, let's talk about what a speech is. Most commonly, it's thought of as the expression of thoughts and feelings articulated through spoken word. As a nonpartisan organization working to educate women voters on topics that are important to them, we know you're passionate about this, and we know you want to, when recruiting and giving these speeches, you want to be able to portray that to those listening to you. Some common setbacks with giving speeches is that there's a large part of giving a speech that's overlooked, and that's the body language of the presenter. Before walking you to the podium, you're going to get summed up pretty much in about 3 seconds of how are you carrying yourself. If a person isn't aware of their mental thoughts leading up to a presentation, they can be setting themselves up for failure right from the very start. Often, although you have great ideas that you want to articulate, you're an authentic person, you're passionate about them, you can still be viewed, if you're not aware of your body language, you can still be viewed as passive, inauthentic, and not having that passion that you really do have. Some simple solutions to this are really going into the room and addressing the room as if they were a close friend or a relative. Creating a comfort within yourself that will allow you to be authentic and to be perceived as authentic. This is going to create 4 things that we feel every presenter should have set as goals, which is being open with your audience. Nick Morgan in Harvard Business Review's top 10 must-reads on communication is quoted as saying that if openness is the ante, connection is the thing that's going to let you keep playing the game. So walking into the room, being open, is going to create a connection with an audience that's going to let them actually hear your ideas and be heard. And this is going to help you retain the people that you're hiring. And not only that, but the people that you're hiring are going to be the people that you want to hire. They're going to understand where you're coming from, and they're going to latch on to the ideas you have. With that being said, we'd like to take any questions now that you may have.
As a matter of fact, I do have a question for you. As assigned, your presentation focused on how to increase diversity within the League of Women Voters. I am impressed that you found the quote about diversity. Well done. It was in there. I just wondered who would ferret it out. Now, on March the 3rd, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the For the People Act, H.R. 1. Chris Carson, the president of the National Board of the League of Women Voters, said, "This landmark legislation is the biggest improvement to our democracy since the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Virginia Case, the CEO of the League of Women Voters, said the League works tirelessly to make sure that every eligible voter has their voice heard in every election. A healthy democracy is one in which everyone has their voice heard." How do you think we, the League of Women Voters, can use the ideas that you talked about to successfully increase the participation of the diverse population of potential voters that exist in America today, given that in the most recent election, only 40% of Americans voted?
Take that right off the bat, and then I'd also like to hand that off to Colt in a moment. But first and foremost, I think through your presentation styles, it's going to be key to use different keywords to spark interest and to hold interest with those that you're talking to, because an issue that, as Colt previously mentioned, an issue that might face a Muslim woman in the community today may not be relevant to a woman from Texas. So using different linguistic styles to, and especially different keywords, to spark and maintain an interest in what you're talking about could inspire different women from different backgrounds with different perspectives to go out into their communities and through your organization and create a movement. And I think that will be ineffective if you're not presenting in the way that we just talked about. And I think Colt might have something else to say about this.
Yeah, so voting comes down to being an independent choice of the person. You can talk up here blue in the face about how important voting is for Americans to do, but it comes down to that individual person. So you, as an organization, your goal is to educate voters about policies. You're a nonpartisan organization in educating people about voting and the processes of voting and the important issues with voting. So connecting with those people, using your presentations on how those issues are important to them is what's going to increase the voter percentages at the polls, and will increase ultimately members of your organization.
Okay, we got to kill it there.